Now, I've been playing Battlefield 6 since launch, but I haven't actually touched the DMRs yet. I'm kind of like a eat the burger before you start eating the fries kind of guy, where I work on one gun at a time and I level it up pretty far before I start moving on to other things. And I just hadn't gotten around to the DMRs yet, but I had seen a lot of people online talking about how terrible the DMRs are. Specifically the EMR. For some reason, people just seem to really, really hate this gun and how it works in the game. I saw these complaints as far back as the beta. I saw people complaining about this back in the beta. And honestly, I used it in the beta and I thought it was perfectly fine, but I was like, if people are still complaining about it, maybe there is something wrong with it. I don't know. I gave it a try, and the EMR is disgusting. It is so good. I have no idea how someone can think that it's bad. It's so good. You can kill people so easily. I think the number one complaint that I've seen and heard online is that it has too much recoil, which is... It doesn't, at least not in my experience. I don't know. I'm not some crazy good player either, so I really don't understand where this complaint is coming from. Also, like, if people are saying, like, the number one complaint I've seen about it is, like, it's not as accurate. It's not accurate enough. So that can either mean recoil or it can mean spread, because Battlefield has spread, obviously. But in my opinion, the EMR doesn't have either of those things. It doesn't have a lot of spread, especially compared to, like, the assault rifles or the carbines that have so much spread. Although that did just get changed with the latest patch, so maybe that's not as significant anymore. Or they could be talking about recoil, right? In my opinion, the EMR really has neither of those things. If I spam the EMR at maximum fire rate with my finger completely off the stick, so I'm not correcting the aim at all, yes, it climbs off the target a little bit, just a tiny amount, but it only takes like the tiniest amount of correction to keep it on target. You can spam fire this thing at people and you can hit a lot of your shots. Now, in the gameplay here, I'll admit, I'm not getting perfect 3 taps every single time, because hitting real moving targets is harder than hitting the targets in the firing range. But the point is that it really doesn't have that much recoil. This thing is insanely precise, and you can hit targets pretty far away and kill them so much faster than you could kill them with an assault rifle or even an SMG, which are ironically some of the best long-range guns in the game because they have such low recoil and such little spread. Although, again, like I said, they did just recently change that with the latest patch, so I haven't messed around with the game too much since then. It's only been a couple days anyway. Yeah, it's crazy good. I struggle to understand where people are coming from here, where they say, oh, this gun is just unusable, it's just terrible. Like, I completely disagree. I have had the opposite experience. I've had so much fun using this gun. Another great thing about the EMR is they give you the best build, arguably, like, right away. With a lot of the other guns, especially suppressors, you don't start unlocking the suppressor on like ARs, carbines, and SMGs until like level 20, sometimes level like 25. So it takes a pretty long time. And the way the weapon leveling in Battlefield 6 works is it's exponential. So you get the first few levels, like you get like the first 10 levels very quickly, and then after that it starts to really slow down, and it gets slower with each level that you unlock. So getting to like level 25 can take a pretty long time with the gun. But with the EMR, and with, it seems like all of the DMRs for that matter, they were just like, nah, let's just give them the best attachments like right away. You can have what I consider to be the most competitive build for the EMR by like level 10. You get it almost right away. I mean, you're talking like 2, maybe 3 matches, depending on how good you're doing, to unlock really, really competitive build. You get a suppressor, you get a really good optic, you get the flashlight, you get the laser, you get the fast mag. Those are really the only things that you need. So, I mean, that's really convenient. You don't have to spend a lot of time with the gun in a configuration that you don't really enjoy, right? Which, I mean, I think using all of the guns is enjoyable in this game, honestly. I haven't really used a gun that was just completely abysmal to use, at least not yet, anyway. But there is something to be said that with the EMR, it's just like right away, you just get, the configuration, you get the build that you want pretty much right away. In a way, it almost is a little disappointing, because it's like, well, after that, you have nothing left to like grind for, basically. But it is just fun to melt people from a distance. But yeah, I mean, there is no way to stop it. Like, nobody can go up against it, right? Like, if someone is using an AR or a carbine or an SMG and you're going into like a one-on-one fight. Like they see you and you see them and you guys start shooting at each other. If you're using a DMR, they're not going to win if the fight is beyond like, I don't know, maybe like 30 meters or so. It's just not going to happen. I mean, unless you're just missing all of your shots, which is true for any weapon. So the fact that like people would treat it, you know, the DMRs unfairly and be like, oh, that's why they're so bad, is because I miss more often. It's like, I mean, if you're missing your shots, it's any gun is going to be bad, right? So you have to hit your shots, sure. And maybe the semi-auto nature of the DMRs makes it a little less intuitive, I guess. I don't know. I just haven't really had that issue. I've been having a lot of fun using them. And the only times I'll ever really die from long range by like an assault rifle or an SMG is almost always, if not exclusively, when I'm being basically blindsided by a person. If I see a person and we're like dueling essentially at range, I feel like I just can't lose with the DMR. It's just that good. Like the thing about the DMRs is that the up close time to kill is not really that competitive with ARs and SMGs, but they maintain that time to kill out to significant range where they will start to beat every other gun. The DMRs also make, in my opinion, the most effective counter-sniping weapon other than another sniper. And honestly, I'm just not really that good of a sniper. So as a person that's not good at sniping, but really hates when, you know, you're getting pinned by a sniper and there's just not a whole lot you can do about it, because in Battlefield 6 there's basically no bullet flinch, you know, or suppression flinch or anything like that. So if you're using like an AR or an LMG or whatever and you're getting pinned down by a sniper, there's basically nothing you can do. But with the DMR, that sniper's as good as dead, unless they're just a crack shot, which sometimes they will be. You know, like I said, I think, you know, the sniper rifle is probably the biggest threat. A sniper rifle and another DMR is the biggest threat to the EMR. But as the title of this video suggests, almost nobody ever uses the DMRs. I don't know why. Like I said, I've seen posts that say they hate it. People seem to agree. Whenever people make those posts, they get tons of upvotes and shit. It's like, people don't like this gun. But I don't get it because it's so goddamn good. Yeah, what else to say? So I've been talking mainly about the EMR in this video, and that's the one I've used the most. Admittedly, it's really the only one I've used at this point of the DMRs. I've used the other ones in the firing range, but obviously, like I said, that doesn't really give you a perfect idea of how they operate. But going off of the firing range and just comparing the experience of the EMR in the firing range to the other ones in the firing range, and then using my experience of using the EMR in real games, you know, I can kind of somewhat extrapolate how those other ones will work. And honestly, they all seem pretty good. I would say the weakest one is probably the LMR, because the lower damage means more shots to kill, and it only has the 10 round mag by default, so that's fewer kills per mag. The SVD-M on paper should be better than the EMR because it does the same damage, but it shoots faster, so it has a higher DPS, faster time to kill, that sort of thing. And it doesn't seem to have really significantly higher recoil, even with the faster rate of fire. I would say the EMR and the SVD-M seem about the same in terms of controllability. The main drawback, in my opinion, to the SVD-M is the 10 round mag. It has a 20 round mag option, but it costs 45 points. So if you want to use that to get the extra versatility of those extra rounds, you're going to be skimping on a lot of the other areas of the weapon, which is hard to swallow. I don't know if that's worth it. That's why I really like and have been enjoying the EMR a lot. It just seems like the best all-around option, honestly. It's not necessarily the best in any way, but it seems like it's so consistently good in like every aspect that it just entirely makes up for that. It's been a blast, and my main reason for making this video was just because I've been having so much fun playing with it that I just kind of wanted to make a montage and talk about it. But I will say this: I think there's something to be said about having a certain mentality when you're starting to use something or trying something new. I think chances are that if you've seen those posts that talk about how bad the EMR is, and then you're like, I'll give it a try, but I mean, it seems like everybody else thinks that it's garbage. You know, if you use the gun with that mentality in mind, like, yeah, I'm probably not going to like it because everyone else seems to think that it sucks, chances are you're probably going to find some fault in it when you're using it, and you're probably not going to have that much fun with it, even though I'd argue it is really arguably potentially one of the best guns in the game. I'm not even joking. Yeah, my advice is just to, engage with things with an open mind, especially new things. If you haven't tried the EMR yet, I highly advise you try it. I've been having a lot of fun with it. There's a chance that you'll have a lot of fun with it. Obviously, people have different preferences. As I've stated, it seems like a lot of people seem to think that the EMR is garbage. I disagree. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you won't agree. I don't know. That's my advice. Just go into things with an open mind. You never know. You might really enjoy it. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you later.